Note by Reverend Mary Baker Eddy. The land whereon stands the First Church of Christ Scientist in Boston was first purchased by the Church and Society. Owing to a heavy loss, they were unable to pay the mortgage. Therefore I paid it, and through trustees gave back the land to the church. In 1892, I had to recover the land from the trustees, reorganize the church, and reobtain its charter, not, however, through the state commissioner, who refused to grant it, but by means of a statute of the state, and through directors re-give the land to the church. In 1895, I reconstructed my original system of ministry and church government. Thus committed to the providence of God, the prosperity of this church is unsurpassed. From first to last, the mother church seemed type and shadow of the warfare between the flesh and spirit, even that shadow whose substance is the divine spirit, imperatively propelling the greatest moral, physical, civil, and religious reform ever known on earth. In the words of the prophet, the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. This church was dedicated on January 6th, anciently one of the many dates selected and observed in the East as the day of the birth and baptism of our master metaphysician, Jesus of Nazareth. Christian Scientists, their children and grandchildren to the latest generations, inevitably love one another with that love wherewith Christ loveth us, a love unselfish, unambitious, impartial, universal, that loves only because it is love. Moreover, they love their enemies, even those that hate them. This we all must do to be Christian Scientists in spirit and in truth. I long and live to see this love demonstrated. I am seeking and praying for it to inhabit my own heart and to be made manifest in my life. Who will unite with me in this pure purpose and faithfully struggle till it be accomplished? Let this be our Christian Endeavor Society, which Christ organizes and blesses. While we entertain due respect and fellowship for what is good and doing good in all denominations of religion, and shun whatever would isolate us from a true sense of goodness in others, we cannot serve Mammon. Christian Scientists are really united to only that which is Christ-like, but they are not indifferent to the welfare of anyone. To perpetuate a cold distance between our denomination and other sects, and close the door on church or individuals, however much this is done to us, is not Christian Science. Go not into the way of the unchristly, but wheresoever you recognize a clear expression of God's likeness, there abide in confidence and hope. Our unity with churches of other denominations must rest on the Spirit of Christ calling us together. It cannot come from any other source. Popularity, self-aggrandizement, Aught that can darken in any degree our spirituality must be set aside. Only what feeds and fills the sentiment with unworldliness can give peace and goodwill towards men. All Christian churches have one bond of unity, one nucleus or point of convergence, one prayer, the Lord's Prayer. It is matter for rejoicing that we unite in love, and in this sacred petition with every praying assembly on earth, Thy kingdom come, Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. If the lives of Christian Scientists attest their fidelity to truth, I predict that in the 20th century, every Christian church in our land and a few in far-off lands will approximate the understanding of Christian Science sufficiently to heal the sick in His name. Christ will give to Christianity His new name, and Christendom will be classified as Christian Scientists. When the doctrinal barriers between the churches are broken and the bonds of peace are cemented by spiritual understanding and love, there will be unity of spirit, and the healing power of Christ will prevail. Then shall Zion have put on her most beautiful garments, and her waste places budded and blossomed as the rose.